In fact, if you check out some of my older videos from 2020 or even some of my videos from 2021, that was your girl shooting those videos in her office, okay? I was shooting those videos myself on my own camera. I bought some lights on Amazon, I was on YouTube or Googling how to set the lights up. I love this process, even though it is a grueling day, because I get all of my videos shot in one day. And I do this on a monthly basis. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, but I do it because I'm so passionate about helping you take your success story and turn it into a 6 or even 7-figure brand. And especially that part about doing all the things and being a wife and mom. Many of you are the same way. This video you're gonna love because we're gonna be talking about how to create content on social media consistently without burning out. In fact, this is one of the #1 questions I get, and I didn't realize how much people didn't know what I was doing, right? I thought it was obvious, and you'll see a bit of my process as we get into this video, but I thought it was a bit obvious how I was getting so much content out, but I felt the push to really start talking about what my process is, because really the volume of content that I put out and just the production level and all of it sometimes can be a bit discouraging to people, because they think, oh man, I have to create all of this content, it's gonna take me so much time, and I'm still working my full-time job, or I'm still growing my business, how am I gonna be able to do all of this? And they're starting to count themselves out because they're like, there's no way that I can create that much content. And I'm like, come on guys, you know me better than this. Trust me, if I can do it with 2 small kids, I have a 4-year-old and a 19-month-old as of this recording, then you can definitely do it too. So if you've ever wondered how you can be one of those coaches, one of those online brands who has all this fabulous content on all these different platforms, and is it gonna take you 20 hours a day to do it? The answer is yes, you can be one of those coaches, and no, it's not gonna take you 20 hours to do it. So if you're ready for my behind the scenes secrets, you're about to get it in this video right now. All right, so here's the main secret that I thought was obvious, but perhaps a lot of people didn't realize, is that I batch create. Yes, that is my #1 secret for creating consistent content on social media without burning out, is that I batch create. As I am recording this, I have been in my house all morning, right? My videographer got here at 8 a.m. It's like 1 p.m., I had my makeup done, I had my clothes pulled, I knew exactly what I was gonna wear, and we are on location right at my house. Right now we're in my living room. We shot some videos in my front room. Later we'll shoot some other videos in my office. We just basically mosey around the house and we just bang all of this content out. And so I love this process, even though it is a grueling day, because I get all of my videos shot in one day. And I do this on a monthly basis. So I shoot all of my videos that I'm gonna be producing for the month. I do it once a month, and then I'm done. And here's the thing, I did this even before I could afford a videographer, and before I got to this point in my business. In fact, if you check out some of my older videos from 2020 or even some of my videos from 2021, that was your girl shooting those videos in her office, okay? I was shooting those videos myself on my own camera. I bought some lights on Amazon, I was on YouTube or Googling how to set the lights up, and I just got it done. But I did the same thing then that I do now, and that is batch create. So even back then, even though I was shooting my own videos, I would take some time when the baby was asleep, right? I was like, okay, she's going down for her nap, or my son is going down for his nap. I'd wait till the kids were asleep, and I would rush downstairs to my office. I would set those lights up, and I would try to crank out as many videos as I could. So I am a huge believer in batch content creation, and I do it for everything, right? Not just for my videos. Again, I thought it was obvious, but perhaps it's not. So hopefully that starts to kind of calm down any fears or anxiety that you had about creating content. You can do it because you need to batch create. All right, now here's a little secret that might not be as obvious, but this is something that helps me be on multiple platforms at one time, is that I repurpose. Yes, I repurpose a lot of my content. So I love shooting these YouTube videos, not just because I enjoy being on YouTube and I enjoy sharing my information with you, but I love that I can extract all of this content out of these videos. So I tend to focus on a handful of platforms and I repurpose for all of the others. So I would definitely recommend you do the same. I tend to focus more on, say, my YouTube or my podcasts or even like live streaming on Instagram. And then I take the content that comes from those handful of places that I am focusing on, and then I repurpose for all the other platforms. So I might do a live stream on Instagram and then I'll repurpose it for my podcast, or I might do a dedicated podcast, audio, and then I might repurpose it for Instagram. And then all of my YouTube videos get repurposed. So I am cutting out different clips. I might take a 2-minute clip here and post that on Instagram or post that on Facebook. My team is saying that we need to be repurposing the stuff and get on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my goodness, TikTok, I don't want to dance. But we're thinking about repurposing a lot of this content on YouTube. So you can go ahead in the comments and let me know if I should be on TikTok, right? Or you watch on TikTok? Let me know if I should be repurposing this content there. But yeah, we repurpose in so many different ways. And we don't just repurpose the video clips or the audio clips that comes from the content. We repurpose what I actually say. So I get all of my content transcribed. Like I should write a book from all the transcriptions that I have from all the content that I've created. I have transcriptions from videos that I've created back in 2016, and we repurpose a lot of that because if there's a really good quote or something that I kind of say off the cuff in those transcripts, we will then turn that into a quote that then goes on Instagram. It could be a tweet. It could be something that goes on Facebook. So that's really the secret sauce. You really want to focus on one platform, maybe 1 or 2 platforms, create some main content there, do a really good job, make it as high quality as you can. Again, it doesn't have to be ultra professional in the beginning. When I was creating videos like this, I did the best I could at home, right? But I got the best camera that I could afford. I got the best lighting that I could afford. And I did it during the best time of day that I could afford, which was when my kids were asleep. And then I shot those videos and then repurposed them that way. So yeah, that's how I'm getting a lot of this content out. So make sure that you are batch creating and make sure that you are repurposing. All right, so the third thing that you need to keep in mind, especially if you want to take advantage of this batch content creation and repurposing strategy, is you got to get clear on your content pillars. I am very, very clear on what my content pillars are. And what I mean by that is just as a pillar is, in a building and it helps the building stand up, you need to think about what is the ultimate goal that your business is providing your clients, and what are almost like the subtopics or the categories that support what you are trying to help your clients do. So my content pillars obviously are around, building businesses and building 6- and 7-figure personal brands, but I also have content pillars around personal development, self-mastery, also around money mindset and creating generational wealth. So I know what my content pillars are, and that helps me batch create. I think sometimes people avoid batch content creation because they feel like it's, exhausting to sit down and think about all the different things that they want to talk about. But if you know what your content pillars are, it should be easy to sit down and come up with different ideas, because you're just going to come up with different ideas as it relates to those content pillars. So just ask yourself, okay, the main result that I want my clients to get, what are the subtopics that they would need to master in order for that main idea to even be possible for them? Whatever those subtopics are, whether it's 3, 4, 5, etc., you then want to start batch creating content as it relates to those pillars. So keep it tight as it relates to those pillars, and you'll find that your batch content creation is going to come a lot easier and be a lot less exhausting. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. Are you more of a planner or are you more of a free spirit? Either way is fine. Go ahead and share in the comments below. All right, the fourth thing you want to do after you have batch content created, you've repurposed, and you've come up with your content pillars is you really need to get clear on what your steps to success are. And this is especially important for platforms like Instagram, even a bit of Facebook, and especially TikTok. And what I mean by this is, okay, you know what your content pillars are, right? And you're creating content as it relates to those content pillars. You want to break it down further and say, okay, what are the steps to success that need to happen in each of those content pillars? So for me, again, I said, okay, I know what my main brand is, and I know that my content pillars are, creating a 6- and 7-figure personal brand, building generational wealth, and developing self-mastery and, your personal power. then I might ask myself on each of those 3 pillars, what steps would someone need to take in order to achieve that thing? So what steps does someone need to take in order to achieve a 6 or 7 figure personal brand? And it's a lot of steps, right? I've actually done this for myself in a mind map, and it came out to like 100 different little micro steps that they would need to take, right? But that's the point. So now each of those little micro pieces of, content that you have, those can be talking points for your videos, those can be talking points for your live streams or your podcast, and these can be little clips that you create for TikTok or Instagram Reels or any of that more short form content. These could even be tweets that you put out on Twitter. And so you have to understand that on most social media platforms, even on YouTube to a degree, people are looking for, quick content that is really focused and is going to help them get a result. And so while you want to know what your broad or main topics are, you also want to know what are those like smaller topics that I can break all of these content pillars down into, and how can I use that to create my content? For me, I use all of those like micro pieces of content topics. I use those to help me with my repurposing. So as my team is going through my videos and they're like, okay, what do we want to pull out or what do we want to put on Instagram? They know all of those little micro steps that we, broke things down, right? My steps to success. They know what all of those little steps to success are. And so when they hear me say something that's like a part of a micro step that we have on our, big mind map that explains everything that's needed in order to achieve success that I teach, they know to pull that out, and that becomes its own standalone content. So again, get clear on those content pillars and then break down those steps to success. And then once you've done that, it will help you in repurposing your content because then you'll know what you're looking for. All right, and the 5th recommendation, which I just let slip just in the last point, is you want to create a team. So you don't have to do this in the beginning, but I do recommend at least getting some sort of virtual assistant or an executive assistant to support you in this. Again, you don't need it, but if you are the coach, if you are focused on coaching your clients and developing your programs, you don't also want to be the one that's, up at 1 a.m. with iMovie trying to figure out how you can, cut clips out of your videos and repurpose all of that. And so it doesn't have to be very expensive. There are people all over the world who are interested in, working from home and helping you with your online business and a lot of these online marketing tasks. And you can find very talented people who can pull out clips from your video content or who will read through your transcripts in order to pull out those quotes. So you really want to develop a team, even if it's just one virtual assistant. I started with 2 virtual assistants while I was working my full-time job. Yes, when I was working my full-time job, I knew I needed a graphic designer and I needed somebody to answer all these customer service emails and to post my stuff on social media. So I hired 2 overseas virtual assistants who supported me in that while I was still working my 9-to-5 job, and I have grown my team immensely since then. Now I have an operations manager and a project manager and all these different people who help support me in getting these content out. But again, I didn't even have all those people as early as last year or even 2020, and I was still consistent with my content, right? I was shooting the content myself, and I was, pulling out the quotes, and I was having my virtual assistant help me chop a lot of that content up. So this is the way that you can create a lot of content without burning yourself out. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you're gonna love my content planning cheat sheet. This is a cheat sheet with my process that I still use for coming up with really amazing content topics. So if you're still not clear on what your pillars are, or you need more support in coming up with content that you can then repurpose and distribute everywhere so you can be one of those coaches that, people say like, wow, her content is everywhere. Go ahead and sign up for this free cheat sheet. You can get it by clicking the link below. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait until my next video, don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next video, come on over to Instagram and follow me at CourtneyLSanders. There, I share the behind the scenes of my life as well as more tips like this. So if you follow me there, go ahead and send me a DM or leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.